Good day, everybody. My name is Kevin Hogan. I'm the author of The Psychology of Persuasion, 20 other books that have been translated into 41 languages all around the world. Today, the expectant mind. The expectant mind. Maybe we've talked about this once or twice before. It covers a lot of territory. Everybody talks about the see it, believe it, and if you just think about it, it'll attract you. And that's, of course, not true. There's nothing to that whatsoever. But there is a really fascinating phenomenon that feels sort of like that, that's called the expectant mind. People are very certain about their instincts. They're very certain about what they feel. And when you're talking to someone about what it is they feel or their instincts, and they say, you know what? That's what they know. That's what they know. What they feel, they know to be true. So if they feel that this is the right way and that's the wrong way, you could sit and argue and debate it all day long, and it makes no difference, because that's precisely what they think is what they feel. They're certain of it. They're certain of what they feel. It's much different than a belief. Beliefs are based on foundations that are very shaky and very rocky. But what people know is based on how they feel. They feel certain about something. So the expectant mind is perhaps 10 to 20 times greater than a belief. You know, like, I believe in you, you can really do this. Way more important than that, way more valuable. And it's hundreds of times more powerful than an affirmation, which is almost useless. If on a scale of 1 to 100 we had to pick a number, it would be 1. If you could take the expectant mind in terms of power, in terms of influence ability, you're talking about 80, 90, 100. It's huge. Great example. Israel study, classic study, not talked about that much in the psychological literature, even though everybody learns it once. But it's a great study. 114 men and women in the military in Israel, separated into 3 groups, just completely randomly. These are all people who had been in the military in Israel for more than 15 years. They went to a special boot camp that was 8 weeks long for the sole purpose of this study. They didn't know it, of course. Well, the commanders at the base, at the kibbutz, I think is what it was called. The commanders at the kibbutz, they were all given a folder for each one of the 114 men and women. Those folders all contained one little line of information at the very beginning, and it was called command potential, and then a blank space was filled in, and it either said high, regular, or low. That was it. High, regular, or low. Command potential, right? So every day at the end of the day during training, the commander would write down how well the person did at marksmanship that day, or how well they did at topology, or how well they did at strategy, and how well they did at tactics on the battlefield. Those kinds of things. Well, what happened is that for those candidates that had the word high written next to command potential, those people performed better in marksmanship than did all the other candidates. They performed better than all the other candidates at topology. They performed better than all the other candidates at strategy and at tactics on the battlefield. The only difference between all of these people was that they had the word high, regular, or low input into a field on their folder, and the person really only saw it one time. The commander only saw it once, and the 3 groups of people that there were, those people were all mixed together. They were all in the same training groups. There were no distinctions like all the high guys over here, all the regular women over here, and all the low guys over there. That's not how it was. They were all trained together. So when the commander looked out there and he just remembered, oh, that's Johnson. Johnson is really good. I mean, he really didn't remember it. He didn't really think about it. He just knew it. He was certain about it. And when he was certain, he treated Johnson differently than all the rest of the people in the field, and Johnson had an advantage. That was, the commander was absolutely certain he was going to do fine. We have no concerns. Same thing with Williams over there. However, on the other side of the coin, these guys over here, they're not going to do so good. Smith and Jones, and I don't think so. They're going to do quite poorly, actually. It says their command potential was low. They're not thinking this. This is all unconscious. They've only seen this piece of information one time. But once they know it, once they're in tune with that feeling inside of them about how well somebody else is going to do, they're going to do quite well. So wouldn't it be cool if you wrote down a list of likely buyers today, and you just wrote down a list on a piece of paper, the people that were most likely to buy from you, and you just wrote, say, 8 people you're going to see today on appointments, and you wrote down 4 of those people just for the heck of it to see how that was going to go. Guess who's going to buy more? It's going to be pretty impressive. That's part of the expectant mind. We'll talk more about it in the future. For the moment, what can you do to improve your own expectant mind?